Hey there friend, Hector here, strongestech.com. With this week's Movement Monday for the week, we're going to be carrying on with our T-spine mobility series. Last week we went over threading the needle and the rib grab, pulling on the ribs, kind of getting some nice rotation through this thoracic region, giving us a better overhead position in a snatch, and obviously your press, your get up, etc. is going to all shine through there. So like I mentioned, the thoracic region, it should flex, it should extend, and it should rotate. So we're going to be kind of addressing all three of those actions throughout this series. Today, we're going to be basically mobilizing the thoracic from the top down. So there's two ways to mobilize the thoracic piece through rotation. And that's a lot of what we're going to hit today. But we're going to do it from the top down, using the kettlebell armbar. So kettlebell armbar is, it's been around for a while, so there's really nothing new here. We're just going to cover a few different nuances, and we're just going to show you how that translates into working that thoracic piece from the top down. So the setup will be the exact same as setting up for the get up, just a couple of things change. And the way I'm going to set up for this is I'm actually going to lie with my feet facing that way you can see me straight on here, and I'm just going to talk as I go through these movements, what I'm experiencing, what you should be experiencing, and just a few do's and don'ts, and then from there you'll get to try it out and let me know how it goes. So I'm going to start on my back. Let me move this over to the side. Okay. Like I said, everything from the get up is the same. Okay. So roll to your side. Okay. Grab the bell, hand inside. I like to get my hips close to the bell. That way when I rotate to my back, the bell's right here on my hip. Okay. Where this differs from the get up is I'm not going to have my leg out 45 degrees. My leg's going to be straight here. Okay? From here, I'm going to make a straight line from my foot, this leg here, to my hand that's coming overhead. All right? From there, I use two hands, and I'm going to press the bell into position. As I'm getting ready to go into the armbar, I want to make sure that the bell stays in line with my shoulder. Okay? I don't want the bell over my head. I don't want it any lower. I don't want it to the left. I don't want it to the right. Okay? Bell stays lined up over my shoulder. As I go through this armbar, the bell stays in line with my shoulder and it never leaves it. Okay? So my axis, the axis of which I'm going to roll around, is this leg and this hand. Free hand comes overhead. Okay? This leg that's on the floor, I'm going to use it. I'm going to drive through that leg and I'm going to roll. Make sure my mic's not in the way. I'm going to roll across this axis, this left hand and left foot. And you'll notice that as I roll, the bell never leaves my shoulder. Shoulder stays connected, hand overhead, drive through my foot. The bell stays lined up over my shoulder. My hand is relaxed. This hand is on the ground. Relax my head on my bicep, and I bring my knee over. My foot is behind my ankle. Okay? From here I breathe. And I want to find what's known as a proprioceptive vertical. So I want that bell lined up over my shoulder. From there, I'm balancing this over my shoulder. I keep my shoulder blades stacked on top of each other. Okay? And I breathe. Now, I bring this, once I'm ready, I bring this top foot over and I point my big toes towards each other. And what I'm going to try to do next is, as I breathe, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and try to put both hip bones to the floor. One thing that you can do to increase some more feedback is once I'm in the right position, all I do is I look away from the bell, and that's going to increase the stability factor here, because what's happening is as I'm taking away, you can see the bell dancing around a lot more. I'm taking away one of my movement systems. Then to come out, foot back behind the knee, roll back to my back, and the bell stays aligned over my shoulder. Okay? I'm going to do the other side here in just a second. So when I look away from the bell, I'm here, and I look away, you notice that I started getting some more movement out of my shoulder here. Here's the reason why that happened. We have 3 specific movement systems. We have vestibular, internal balance, right? So when you're moving your head, you're stimulating that vestibular system that's inside the brain, okay, in between your ears, pretty much. As you move your head, that's why head nods and rolling is so good, because it stimulates that system. You have proprioceptive, which is basically body awareness, getting tactile feedback, knowing where your body's at in space. And then you have visual, okay, through sight. The moment your vision is impaired, your other 2 systems kind of step up and have to kind of take over one of those, that movement system that's missing. So if any one of those goes out of whack, your body starts to freak out, kind of, I guess would be, for lack of a better words. So the moment I took away my vision, my proprioceptive, etc., kind of started taking over, and is trying to figure out, hold on, let me try to figure out how to balance this kettlebell. Because before I was able to look at it, okay, so I was kind of integrating all 3 systems together. Gripping of the bell, proprioception, right, and aligning that bell here. That's why we call it a proprioceptive vertical, okay, kind of challenging my body, okay. So from here, I was able to also look at the bell. So I was kind of neurally chunking some of those systems together. The moment I took one away, I got some more movement out of it. So that's one thing that you can do, I guess, to take this arm bar to the next level, okay? Obviously, get comfortable in that position before you decide to take your eyes away, okay? I think that goes without saying. But as I was on my side, and as I start kind of turning away, I'm mobilizing that thoracic region from the top down. So I'm locking in my upper body and rotating through. So that's why I'm getting some of this rotation here. So I'm going to do the other side. Okay, like I said, all the setup stays the same. Rolling to my back. Okay, pressing overhead, legs straight. Arm overhead. Use this foot to roll my body into position. Okay, straight line from this hand to this down foot. Relax my head on my bicep and my foot behind my knee. And I breathe. Try to find that proprioceptive vertical until I start to get some feedback. And this is one of the reasons why you want to use a kettlebell, because the kettlebell is a live weight. So right now the bell is trying to pull my shoulder back this way, and I have to engage the rotator. Well, I don't have to. My rotator engages on its own reflexively to balance this bell over my shoulder. When I feel more comfortable there, I start to turn my hips over, point my big toes towards each other, and I breathe. So now I'm working on this rotation piece of my thoracic. Then as I begin to get comfortable and I feel confident here, I can look away. And now that bell's really dancing as I keep driving my hips and trying to place those hip bones on the ground. Foot behind, roll back into position, and you notice that bell never left the shoulder here. 2 hands, bring the bell in, set, and done. There you have it. Pretty simple. You want to go with a light bell on this drill, okay? You don't want to go really heavy, not yet anyway. But this is a mobility drill, this isn't a lift, so you're not trying to see what's the heaviest arm bar you can do. You can certainly do them heavy if you like, but you need to have some pretty good stability in the shoulders, obviously mobility in the thoracic, to go any heavier than this. This is a 16 kilo. I recommend that you stay with 16 or less for the gentlemen. Ladies, like 12 kilos or less when you're going through this arm bar. And the reason for that is, for one, obviously you're working on mobility and you're not trying to maximize your strength. But you want to be comfortable holding this bell for a period of time. So once I get into this position, I'll sit there, and I don't really do it for time, I just do it for breaths. So let's say I'll go through like 5 to 10 breaths as I'm breathing and just kind of working on opening this thoracic region from the top. I'm just going through breathing. So 5 to 10 deep diaphragmatic breaths, working on getting my hips as squared as I can while keeping my shoulders stacked, okay? And then I switch and do the other side. And I usually just do that once on both sides, and then from there I'm ready to go overhead with snatching, get-ups, pressing, what have you. So that's pretty much it. Give that a try. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, as always, leave it in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've got some additional videos here from the Movement Monday series. Again, I'm Hector with StrongAsHeck.com with this week's Movement Monday for the week.